and it has the yes up at the top in the blue bar. Yes, that's a good place to go. But if someone knows 3 blocks and says Real Science, Power Pack Nutrition, and Buy Now, if you hit that one at least, now that one's corrected, and and you, yeah, that's good. So if someone didn't scroll down and get all looking for everything, if they just stopped here and say push Buy Now, they can either go join as a distributor as buy a product. If you push either of those 2 big blocks, it'll have the number on it.
Okay, so yesterday that wasn't working.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and so I just checked it just right now, and so that's good. So if someone didn't wander around on the website, they could, it would be okay.
Yeah, good. I mean, it's just something to be aware of, and you know, one of the things that's important as you're making contacts with your prospects, probably, you know, it's a little bit what my topic is for today, is you should, when somebody's looking, you know, don't be, you know, give them your ID number, saying, look, if you decide to go ahead and get it, if you decide to go ahead and enroll, you know, here's my ID number, and make sure when you do enroll that you use my ID number that says my name or my company name on the enrollment page. That will solve any issues of somebody getting enrolled underneath you. And you know, it's just one of the things you guys should always be proactive and think about your business, because you know, there's a couple different ways to run a business. You can just kind of let it happen and wait for things to happen, or you can make it happen. And that's why I've got up there today on the website, you know, take action. The more action you take, the more you put forward, the higher probability that you are going to get results. And it's just a matter of plugging away at it. You don't need to become obsessive with it. You just need to have a system and put it in place and work it, you know, work it in and just go from day to day and just stay in progress. All right, look, we'll go ahead and get this meeting started. Let me go ahead and I got the recording button on. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody out. Before I do that, are most of you on the web page?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. I'm going to mute everybody out. Just let me know. I'm going to mute
you are
the
now
line
muted.
And just type in real quick that you can hear me, so I know there's not a problem here. Just hit the chat line, and you guys are great. Look at this. You guys just plug away. Good, 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 good. All right, look at things are moving along really well with the team, and a lot of you, I know quite a few of you here are new, and you know, we have additional trainings. When you're getting my emails, if you take a look, every time I send out on these trainings, there's a day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 that kind of shows you how to set things up. Also, if you want to get more insight on everything that's going on, if you go to my YouTube channel, if you go to dwighthalstead.biz, B-I-Z, so that's dwighthalstead.biz, you can go back there to YouTube. You can just see I have a ton of training videos back there. Don't overwhelm yourself, but, you know, pick one of those on a random basis and just learn a little bit. Now, what I want to kind of go over today is quite a few of you is I want you to start. Let me just bring up. Here we go. All right. I want you. Some of you are starting to make contacts, and some of you are starting to what I want to kind of go over is the different techniques that I have to do follow-up, and also to kind of reaffirm the fact that, you know, what we are in here, guys, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. It's all about taking time and developing new relationships with individuals and getting information out. And we just don't know when it's going to happen. Now, I have a couple of my new team members that have been with me for the last, let's say, 90 days. And a couple of them are just now starting to hit their stride. And all of a sudden, people are contacting them, and people are going ahead and they're enrolling. They're getting their customer base built up. They've sent out their sample kits, and they've got a couple of new distributors. I know a few of the people on the team have gotten their new distributors in, and they've got new distributors in, and that's what it's all about. And it's all about bringing in the 1 or 2 people. Now, kind of go back on Prosperity Central, again, every day. And here's the thing. This is all about taking action. It's all about doing something consistently every day. If you put forth the action over time, the results will come if you give it the chance. We have a few people on this group. They're just overthinking this. They're making this 10 times harder than what it needs to be. Is you just need to kind of follow the system as we laid it out here and just kind of let it happen. If you start to relax with this, it will start to take hold. I'll give you an example. It was interesting. Yesterday, my wife and we attended a dog training class. And you may want to wonder what dog training has to do with this, but it's real simple. One of the things that when you are training a dog and you have him on a leash is the dog is very sensitive to emotions, and it's very sensitive to subtle changes that when you walk a dog and you train them, they can actually sense tenseness just by you gripping the leash harder. That's why sometimes when dogs will see another dog and they react and they get all hyper and crazy, is what happens. The reason why they get all hyper and crazy is because you know the dog's going to do that, and you grab that leash and you squeeze it too tight, or you tug back on it just subtly, and that dog thinks that it needs to defend you. And it senses that. Our prospects are real similar in the same way. They can sense when you have tension. They can sense when you're not relaxed and comfortable with what you're doing. And that's because you are putting pressure on yourself. You're trying to make things perfect. You're trying to make things flow through. And this has nothing to do it. I've been doing this for years, and I can tell you point blank, when I call people, I stumble, I stutter, I can have issues. I may have a good day, and I may have a bad day. You may find that hard to believe, but it is a matter of fact. But the one thing that I have going for me, when I call somebody, by the time they get done talking to me, is they know that I have confidence, and they know that I believe in what I'm doing. Okay, I believe in the product, and I am totally involved. That when I talk to them about what I'm doing, both in a marketing sense and in a product sense, they know that they can sense in me that I'm being candid with them, and I have their best interest at heart. And that is probably the biggest things that we can do in making contact with individuals, is making sure that they are personalized with you. And there's a few different ways that I do it, and I highly recommend that probably you do the same thing. When I make contact with somebody, I always encourage them to go over and take a look at me on Facebook so they can see who I am. You guys can tell that those of you who have been with the group for a while, I send out a lot of emails, and I'll throw my picture of myself, my wife, my daughter-in-law, and my son in those pictures. I want people to realize that I am just another individual just like them, an everyday guy who's building a business and being successful at it. And I want them to identify with that at the same time. I'm also very candid with individuals that if they get started in this, we're not a get-rich-quick. We're not going to make you a ton of money overnight, but we're going to give you an opportunity to get a great product that you're going to receive benefits from, a product that you can share with other individuals. They will receive the same, and over time, this thing will grow, and you will develop a very solid business. And that is the message that I have every time I talk to somebody. I know exactly what type of message I have, and that's the message I have on hand. You guys, at the same time, you should have a very clear vision in your mind of why you're doing the business and what you're trying to accomplish, and that you are here to help individuals. And know that if you have to write it down and study it, and if you really don't know, if you're calling people on random, or if you're just hoping that things are going to happen, then that sense comes across. But if you give it time, if you consistently do the same thing day in and day out, you send the email campaigns out, and you let people know that we have a system in order to help them, you will start to see things fall into place. Now, as you guys know, I'm doing exactly the same thing that you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis. I have my emails, I use Prosperity Central, and I am working 100% cold market. I am not calling the people that I know. I have other organizations, people in them. I'm not even going to bother them because they're happy over those. Why would I want to move them out of something they're happy with? What I am looking for is I am looking for new individuals. Now, I am very consumer-orientated. That's my marketing plan. And here's why that is my marketing plan. Here's a lot of networkers, and a lot of you have had this experience. A lot of networkers out there are constantly trying to go after the other networker because they all want to get that big gun. They want to get that big guy that's going to come in and take over and put 1 million people in, and you're going to live off of that. Well, you may hit the lottery, and that may happen. Unfortunately, what happens out there is 97% of the marketers out there are chasing 3% of the marketplace. There's 95% of the people out there that are not networkers. And that is the largest market that's out there. And that really is what I'm trying to tap into. I'm trying to find that person who has not had any networking experience or very little networking experience, who is going to come in, like the product, get enthused about it, take a look at the system, get enthused about what we're doing, and willing to put forth the work and step up. All the new people that I've brought in over the last couple of months are all working at a nice, steady pace. Some are still in the consumer. Some are still in my consumer base. They're still just kind of collecting the information. They're still getting their products. Some are starting to click and start to share, and then some are really starting to learn how to do the business. Now, let me just give you an example of something here. Now, when you guys go in your Prosperity Central, again, every day, every morning, you should be getting up. You should be taking a look. When you come in Prosperity Central, you're at your dashboard. Obviously, you want to see what activity you have back here. You want to see who's opened up your emails. And again, let me just be real clear. When somebody opens your email, it does not mean they read it. It just means they opened it. All that does is verify that that is a live person. And if they opened our email, they opened the email because of something in the subject line caught their attention. Now, they may have opened it, saw it's commercial email, decided to delete it and move it out. That's why we have a wide variety of emails back there to choose from, because we don't know which one's going to catch their attention. But what will happen is they start seeing emails coming in from you. They're obviously looking. That's why we take 1,000 leads and we bring it down to try to find 100 or so that are working this. So let me just kind of show you a quick example here. We come over to my top 10. You always take a look at your top 10. You can see in this one I've got numbers from 74 all the way up to 143. I'm going to take this JY right here. This guy just came in last week. He came in as a preferred customer. And let me just kind of show you what happened here with him. My first contact, or my first email campaign, is I launched back in December 8th. Okay, so we're looking at December 8th, January 8th, February 8th. So we're looking at 2.5 months from my initial contact all the way through. But take a look at something here. He opened up the email, and he went and visited my site first time. Called him, got no results, left a message, and then a bunch more emails went out. Look at this, 5 or 6 emails. All of a sudden, he went back. He opened an email again on December 10th and went to my website. And then I sent here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 or 4 more emails went out. Again, opened up, went back to my website. That's why his number's so high. Each time I've called this guy 6 times, never called me back, never took a message, and then we went right here, reached out to him again, opened up, went to One Touch, and then he opened up again. Then a few more emails went out, and a few more emails, some more emails went out, and then now we're sitting at January 28th. Now we're into February. See, emails. So about every 3 or 4 emails I sent out, he's opening up. Well, on February 17th, he went in, I called him again. I left a voicemail. He emailed me. Now, he didn't call me, but he emailed me and told me basically his life story and got a sample packet from me. So on the 17th, I sent out a sample package to him. And I also encouraged them to see the videos. Now you can see he went ahead and watched the videos, and then opened up some more emails. And on the 24th, he came in and he came in as a preferred customer and got his first packet in. Now to date, we've had nothing but email correspondence so far. When I called him, he hasn't called me back. I haven't talked to him, but we have been corresponding by email. And he's got the product and he's trying it out. And the chances are he was excited. He got some results on the email campaigns. He got some results on the sample that I sent him, the 1-week sample. He paid the $23 for that. And then he went ahead and got himself set up on an ownership for 1 box a month. I know that in a couple of weeks he'll probably go back and order another sample. So the point of this is somebody who I have been very consistently sending information and been emailing and I've reached out to him a few times. So he knows I'm a real person. He knows I'm a real guy. For whatever reason, he hasn't talked to me. That's fine, but we have been in communication by email. So we have made contact. And what's important here when we do this is all about making contact. This is all about having contact with our individuals. Let me just take a look here. All right. I still see the screen there. Let me just bring something up. Got a little glitch here. Let me fix it for it. Let me fix it. Yeah, there, guys. Oops. I got to hear it, baby. Hang on. Alrighty. Okay, the screen should be popping back up here in a second. Alrighty. All right. Put in the chat line there if you guys can see the screen again. Good, good, good. Okay. Open the lines up real quick. I want to see where I lost you.
You are now unmuted.
All right, the lines are up. Where did the screen cut off on you guys?
Mine never did, Dwight. I still have the Prosperity Central with JY on it, on the screen.
Okay, good. Well, it dropped off on my screen. I was afraid it didn't go. Okay. Sorry about that. Once in a while this thing drops off, so you guys are able to follow it up to this point. Good. Thank you, Angel.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to mute everybody back out again.
You are now muted.
All right, if you guys can hear me, let me know. Did you see the screen? Okay, good, good, good. All right, look at. Sorry about that. It dropped off on my computer, and I thought it dropped you guys out too. I've got two computers running here. That's why I'm monitoring this. All right, look, the main thing that I'm trying to get across here, what's really important on building this is you can see on this particular setup, I have been consistently contacting these individuals. Now, my business plan is laid out in such a way, and again, you guys should have some idea of how you're going to build your business. And again, my business plan is based on trying to go after the 95% of the market instead of going after the networkers. Now, this doesn't mean I'm not going to turn networkers away, but I'm trying to find the new people to bring into the business who have not really had any experience in this, and then nurse them through in order to build them. I know from personal experience from doing this in the past that if I bring in a few good people who they like the product, they love the product, they get loyal, They get excited, then they tap into their warm market. And again, warm market is where our real business is being built. And as we tap into their warm market and share with them that they can make some money and earn a little bit of income and build up to 2 or 3, then they get 2 or 3 people in, they can get their product for free. So again, it just is a matter of plugging away. Now, the other thing that's going to take place here, and let me just kind of share this with you as well. Again, right now, I've been working this particular Prosperity Central. This is not my main. This is not my main Priority Central. This is the second one that I'm in. I started working this a year ago. I've got 7,000 active people right now in this. It's taken me a year to build. I have 7,000 people that I can go back to, and I can keep sending emails out and just keep maybe I can send other affiliate offers and things in order to make contact with individuals. My total goal is, out of these 7,000, is just developing relationships with 2 or 3. Now, so far, to date, out of these 7,000 people back here, I've gotten probably about 30 people involved, if not in RAIN, in other affiliate programs that I have. But the point is I've got about 25 or 30 people that I have regular relationships with that are accepting emails and looking at what I'm doing. Some of the people that are now in this group that have joined other organizations that I promote have also, they're happy there. They're not going to move over, and I'm not going to change it. Because remember, I've been doing this for a year, and I've only been doing RAIN actively since October. Now, since October, just to give you a sense, I'm doing exactly the same thing you guys are doing, but just in the last 2 months alone, I've looked back at what's going on here, and in the last 8 weeks, I've brought in 10 customers and I brought in 4 distributors, and that's basically 14 people. But think about the power of that. Number one, my 10 distributors 10 customers that I brought in are each buying about 2 boxes a week or 2 boxes a month from me right now. That's a $40 a month in income that comes directly to me. So with 10 customers, I've got a $400 check coming in that more than covers my auto ship, and I auto ship 4 boxes a month. So not only am I getting my product for free, it's covered, but I also have initial product just from my customer base alone. Now, my distributors that I have in my group, obviously, I'm seeing growth, and basically it's working. It's what we call the 80-20 rule. Is that I know that when I bring in 10 people, 2 people are going to work. It's 20%. 20% do 80% of the work. The other 2 are there for whatever they're trying the product, they're building. Maybe they'll bring in 1 or 2 people, but they're not really serious about their business. And there's nothing I can do to make people serious about doing the business. They have to have the initiative. Look, you guys are here on this call to learn. You guys are here because you want to make things better. And again, let me just go repreface this real quick. You guys are here because you want to learn, but you're also here because you've got to learn. You've got to be able to take things one step at a time. You are not. This is not something that's an automatic success. Now, we do see people come in and do this, but you guys are here, and this is what I want to get. Take and learn one little thing each day and just keep building upon it. And that's why we've got this program laid out. Now, a couple of things that I do when we start making contacts, and let's get back into this. If you guys remember at the beginning of the month, I started working just my hottest prospects only, and I originally had over 600 people on my hottest prospects. I have not put in any new leads or anything else. I've just been working. I just took that 600 and I've been emailing out to that 600 and just been continuously doing that. I'm still down to 231 on my hot list right now, and I'm still working that down. Now, next month I will be adding more leads into it, but the thing is I took my 1,000 leads that I put in here, just like what you guys are doing, and I brought those down to about 100, 150, and then I started working those, and I've just stayed with this. If you take a look at my last 24 hours, was 15 before, I've got 14 people. This is a very manageable number. I can actually sit down and make 14 phone calls on a daily basis and start directing people. And this becomes a lot easier to do. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was up to 150 on my daily activities, and there's no way I'm going to sit down and call 150 people. But the point is any given individual here, I know right now that's back here has really has been opening up at least 3 or 4 of my different emails, and it's definitely it's obviously shown kind of interest. Now, it doesn't mean they're ready to build a business. Doesn't mean they're we just don't know what they're what they're ready at. But I do know that they're obviously looking. Otherwise, they wouldn't have stayed with me this long. And it may be just like JY. It may take 2 months before they follow in. Here's what I've been seeing: is I've got 2 sample kits out right now to people that are already they're on the sample program. They've already made a commitment to go ahead and come in as customers. Like one gal just got her order in, and now they're getting the products, and now they're getting ready to. They're on that product, and now they're getting ready to take the next step. I have one woman in Montana right now she's already on her 3rd box of the product, and she's got things that she needs to take care of in her life, but she definitely wants to move forward, start building the business. But she has some other issues that she needs to take care of before she can devote herself to the business, and that's being right up front. We don't know when it's the right time for some individuals, and if you guys try pressuring people, or you guys are on pressure to try to get people in, then it's very counterproductive. If you sit down and you make their best interest, our job is not to sell people anything. Our job is to share people information and to guide them to the tools and the things that we have that's available to us in order to help them build their business as it grows, and just show them we have a system. And this system is proved to prove very effective. And one of the advantages we have versus anybody else that's marketing out there is that we've taken this system between the Prosperity Central and the fact that we're providing you leads between Vance, Herb, and myself. We are providing you guys leads to contact. Is we're literally saving you hundreds of dollars in advertising expenses. Because the fact of the matter is, when you take 1,000 leads and you bring them down to that 100, those 100 people are just as effective as if you went to Google Ads or something along that line and spent $10 or $20 or $30 trying to bring people in. Now it's just a matter of bringing it down. I don't care where my lead sources come in or anything else. Just because somebody responded to an ad or looked at something, they had a little bit of curiosity, it does not mean that A, they're ready for a business, or B, they're really interested in our product, they're into health and nutrition. Who knows what caught their attention? But our job is to start making contact with these individuals. Now, again, when we bring somebody in and we bring somebody into the business, let's just kind of take a look at something here. Let's go to today's activities. I'm going to click on here. First thing on the email campaigns, when we get somebody started, and here's the philosophy of why I put Prosperity Center together and I put the time to do this. I know one thing. When I bring somebody in, I've got to get them into action quickly. The best way to get somebody into action is to get them plugged into a system that they can start doing that's somewhat simple, and B, they have something they can share with people they know, so they can start getting information out to people they know, so they can start working on the warm market. And my job is to help them do that. Now, when I bring somebody in, I try to tell people, keep it simple, follow the basics. We've got the letters back here, letter 1, letter 2, letter 3, letter 4. This is just there to help people get started so they can see that when we put 1,000 leads in, they will get, and they'll get about 100 contacts roughly on an average out of those 1,000 that start making contacts, and they can start learning the system. One of the reasons why I don't like to set people up is when I bring people in and I get them into the system, I will go ahead and do most of the work for them because it takes me 15, 20 minutes to do. But after we get them going, then they're into action. Now they can start taking time to learn this system. A lot of you think about what you've done, what you've even done on the phone here, or on this system, is that you came in, we got the emails come out, you started getting activity, and then you started learning more about the company, about the system, and how to maneuver your way through it. So like here on today's activities, I haven't sent them out anything yet, but I do have a letter back here that has, I got a lot of letters. And again, you guys need to learn how to do your own personal letters. But I started sending out personal information, so I'm going to send out a letter here. Let me find it. That is the RAIN International webinar with Byron Belka. Now let me kind of talk about this letter here real quick. This is a webinar that Byron did a couple weeks ago. I've got it on a link. And what I got down here is I've got, I have 4, 6, 8, and 10. It's available. Now, this thing's available all the time. It's pre-recorded. But I have found if I give people a time to go look at something, the probability of them doing it are a lot better than just leaving it open any time. Also, if people think there's going to be a webinar for a half hour at 4 o'clock, they will set aside, they'll let family, friends, and know that they're going to be unavailable for the next 4 hours in order so they can learn about something. Well, when I send this out, this is just that. It's an invite, and I have down there Rain International Webinar with Byron Belka, the president. So they can go ahead and go back here, and of course, let's hit the preview message here real quick. They come back here, and when they hit the webinar, it's bringing them to the capture page, and this capture page basically says, it just tells them they need to fill the form out in order to go to the webinar. The reason why I do this is when they hit the link, I want to know if they went. They filled this form out. I know they went to the webinar. Now I can give them a call back, and I'll have something to do with it. This is how I start setting things up in order to start making contacts with individuals. Now, the other thing that I have back here, and you guys can do the same, is I will also set things up. Let's see if I can find special offer to join us this week. No, that's not the one. Let's bring it up here. Personal invite. Okay, here's my personal invite letter. Most of you have seen this. And all I've done here is I went ahead and there's my picture. And, they've responded. This letter right here has worked very well. I've had people go ahead and fill out the forms, and I've had them call me after receiving this. And I've had a few people call me and say, hey, I'm not really interested. Stop sending me emails. Well, I accomplished my goal. I found out what at least now what their wants and desires are. So, again, this is how I personalize it. Now, when new people come in, I'm not expecting them to go ahead and learn how to do all this. I'm going to go ahead and send this email out to the group. I sent them the webinar thing yesterday. So this is my so here I'm done for the day. For all practical purposes, I'm done for the day because I only want to work these 14. I'll see who responds and I'll make phone calls accordingly. That's it. And if I get responses of it, fine. If I don't, that's fine as well. But the bottom line here is when you call people or you make contact, the whole thing is right now, as you work your list down, you want to get this down to where you have the 100. You want to start sending things out that people can start relating to you. I will send email. I have sent email campaigns out to these individuals, and I tell them, hey, go check me out. Go see who I am. If I open up, let me just go to my AOL account here real quick. AOL. My emails. I know some of you that are doing this. I recommend that you can put in your own signatures. If you take a look here on my email, if I send an email out to somebody, look what I have here. I have my Facebook link, I have my fan page link, and I have my company site. And a lot of times when I write an email to somebody, I will encourage them, hey, here's my home phone number. Here's where they can look me up on Facebook to see that I'm a real person. They can look at my fan page, which has the testimonials about rain and everything. It has the testimonials on rain. They can see what rain's all about. And then if by chance they want to order, they can go right to my company site, 123. Every email I send out has this. Every email I send out. And a lot of times what I'll do, again, let's just go back to, I go back to my daily activities. Let's go back to my dashboard. If I take a look here, and I have not been able to get a guy with the same first name as I have, here's Dwight. So, first thing I want to do is I want to take a look, okay, what kind of activity have I had with this gentleman so far? And I can take a look, and he's been opening emails. He hasn't gone and looked at anything yet. So I said, okay, what do I need to do to push this guy over to the next step? Simple. I go ahead and I know the email's good, so I'll go ahead and I'll copy that. I'll come back over to my own email, put it in here, and then I'll write a personal email direct it to him, and I'll say, and right in here, I'll just go, "Hi, Dwight. I see you've been looking, and don't know if you had a chance to go to my links, but here's the link where you can learn more about our product and see the testimonials. If you got any questions, feel free to call me. By the way, check to see who I am. There's my Facebook page, my fan page, and the company site down below. Look forward to having a quick conversation with you. Thank you very much." Boom. I blast that out. How long does it take to do it? And this is outside the system now. So you can do the same thing in your VIP. If you go back in your VIP site and you see somebody's been in there, copy the email, send them something personal. These little extras make a difference. When this goes out, when I send somebody out on a personal email, it's no longer a commercial, but I know it's relatively safe to do because they have been responding back here, and I'm just sending out the one. We're not spammers. We're not out there sending tens of thousands of emails trying to bring, things to the top. The people, the leads we work in, these people have expressed an interest. They have expressed an interest in doing something in trying to build a business from home. I don't care what they tell you or how they write you back, and some people say they never done anything. We have their email addresses, we have the IP addresses, we have the actual time that they went on the computer and actually open it up. If you take a look up here, I've always put these in my notes. This Dwight Bulk here, actually January 14th of 2014, at 2 o'clock in the morning, he was out looking for an opportunity, plain and simple. If he writes me back and says he wasn't looking, I'll just say, "Hey, I don't know, somebody on your family or somebody at your house at this address, I can go point at this address with this IP address, which is connected to you, and with this answer, responded." So maybe it wasn't you, maybe it was somebody in your family. And if you have an interest, great. If not, I'll go ahead and delete you out of my system, and then I move on to the next. But by reaching out to individuals and making it simple, it makes a big difference. Now, a few things. When you're reaching out to individuals, you should have a list of things you're going to do. And obviously, one of the first things is we have the webinars in the evening. If you got somebody that's hot, let's go back to my dashboard again. One of the things that I've done in the past that's been very effective is when I have contact, I will ask people, "Are you available tonight at 8 o'clock your time in order to attend a quick webinar? We're going to or an informational meeting we're going to be doing on the web, or we're going to have a phone call tonight where you can get more information." And if they say yes, I say, "Great. You know what? Would you be available between 8 and 8:30 to listen?" And if they say sure, look, I'm going to go ahead and get your personal invite. I'll give you a call back about 10 minutes before, and I'll give you your password in order to get in. And I'll email it to you or I'll call you. Preferably you call them. If they say yes to that, say, "I'll give you a call back 10 minutes before." The more responsibility you take to direct people toward things, the better your results are going to be. But you've got to do it in a very relaxed and easy method. You've got to be matter of fact with it. If I'm talking and I'm going to go, "Hi," I go, "Hi, Janet. This is Dwight. See, you've been looking. Obviously, you need a little bit more information. We're going to be doing a call tonight. Would you have between 8 and 8:30? Would you be able to make some time available to learn more about what we're up to and how this might benefit you?" If they say yes, say, "Great. Well, look, I'll give you a call 10 minutes before, and I'll give you your personal password in order to get in." And then make the appointment and get back with them. In the past, when I've done this, it's very effective. You become proactive. And you're there to help them. And you go, and again, a lot of times when I get done talking to somebody, one of the things I'm also going to ask them and say, "By the way, obviously you're looking. Let me ask you a real quick question. What are you looking for? I mean, what type of income, additional income, if you're interested in this business, are you trying to make? And be realistic. An extra $400 or $500 a month." And they go, "Fine. So, well, this might be the right opportunity for you, but you need to learn more about what we're up to. Go ahead and I'll call you. I'll give you that call, and then after that, we'll give you a call and I can answer any additional questions you have." When you start setting up those kind of relationships with individuals, that's where the long term comes in. And you will find that if you spend a little bit of effort, you will get very good quality individuals to come into your business. And it's all, again, we are in a relationship business. It's all about setting up the relationship and getting started. So as you sit down and you write things down, you should have a webinar that's available to send people to. And we've got some that are pre-recorded. Again, if you take a look, I want to remind you who may not be aware of this, but if you go back in your one-touch emails. And there's, in Prosperity Central, they have what's called a trackable call. And if you come down in the emails, there is you'll see right here on the Blitz Hot List, it's called trackable call. You can send, if you send this letter to somebody, this is a webinar, it's a recorded call. On this trackable call, they can only call in at the top of the hour. So again, you can say I got 12, 4, 6, and 8. I'll send this out. If they call, they have an individual ID number that allows them to call in. And when they call in, you will be notified that they actually went to that call. So again, what will happen if I'm having a conversation with somebody? I say, we got a call that I'm going to have. There's going to be there's going to be 2 available times. It's going to be one at 6 and it's going to be one at 8. Which would be better for you? And they go 8 o'clock. Well, look I can come here, delete that out. Delete. Okay. So I'll call today. Delete that out. Now I can go ahead and I can send that email out to that person. We'll go ahead and blast this out to everybody. Doesn't hurt anything. So there's nothing you can do wrong here. And now that's an 8 o'clock call. So I'm on the phone and I tell people I'll send you out right now you give your own personal ID and it will be in there, or I'll send this out to you, a half hour before, and you'll have the information. I'll give you a quick call and verify you got it. That's it. These are tools back here. Learn how to use them, and then be willing to share them. The other thing to get back, if you haven't had the time, is get back into the prosperity, get back in here in the marketing, and learn the capture pages back here, and just know one thing. You've got quite a few capture pages back here. You're not going to use them all. I'm going to be pulling a few of them out that aren't getting used. But probably the most popular ones that are being used right now is the Dr. Weeks webinar. So if I'm talking to somebody and they says, well, yeah, I've got certain issues. Listen, we have an MD, he's a medical doctor, he's into holistic natural medicines. Listen to what he has to say. I think you'll find this very informative about how nutrition affects your health. And I'll send you over the link. So I'll copy this link. I'll put it over in a personal email and send them off to it. Obviously, if they go ahead and they hit this, there's the webinar, and it invites them to go over and get a 1-week package. And one of the things to remember, if I'm talking to somebody and I'm sending this out to them, I'll go, by the way, when you get done with this, if you fill out the form to the right, you can actually try a 1-week sample. So if you like what you hear and you want to find out more, fill the information out. Or if you actually would like to receive a 1-week package, go ahead and fill it out, and we'll give you information on how to do that. If you tell people to do things, you'd be surprised how many will follow through and do it. You also have another one that's been pretty popular as an additional add-on is the doctor's call. This is a recorded call where doctors are actually, there's about 2 or 3 doctors on this call, and they actually talk about how they're using the product with their patients. About 43 minutes long. It's a very good call, and it gives people information. If you learn 2 or 3 of these, not all of them, just pick 2 or 3, and you put these in and write these down or put them on a notepad on your computer. When you're talking to somebody, you can say, hey, go look at this, and when you get done looking at it, fill the form out. If you have somebody who says, well, how can I work this as a business? Well, you've got right here, you can say, well, we've got a real simple program where we'll get you started. You can go ahead and get your packets, and we'll show you how to take and send product out immediately, and you can start getting your money back and go to the prospect funded sampling program. That's what all you guys are on. There's a real quick training session I did on that. They can watch this. Click on here. This is the business training that I've had. I had one person watch this last week from my group, and actually came in after watching this because they saw the value of it. Actually came in with a 4-pack. And so they watch this, and they fill out the form, and you get back with them. Again, if you're talking to somebody live or emails and they said they will go do something, it always pays to go ahead and give them a call back, but there's a lot of tools. Now, as you are doing this, everybody, I recommend, I still don't know everything there is about Prosperity Central. There's so much power back here, and there's so many tools you can use. It's amazing. But take the time to hit these links back here. Come back on your marketing site. Take the time to come back here and take a look at each one of these things that's available to you down here. I know a lot of you realize that you have your own audio where you can generate your own audios, and you can put them in your emails. It gives you the link. You can put them on your web page. It's right here. You can do a recording. You can upload it, or you can record directly off the phone. So you can send a personal message. Again, you guys have seen a lot of times when I send out an email, I'll say I'll put down, I have a quick voicemail message for you, and I'll make a recording, and I'll put the link into it. They click the link, and I do that because I'm lazy. I don't want to type, so it's just easy to send. I can do a recording. It takes me 5-10 minutes, and I send that recording out. And again, what happens is they get that recording, and they see that I'm a real person, and they hear that I'm a real person, and that's all I'm looking for. I'm just trying to get people to relate to me in some way, and I'm trying to relate to them. Good example of that is, I think I got it here. I think if you take a look in your back office, I've got one here called the Answer Machine, and here's a message that I put on a capture page. They get a message from me, and then I tell them in the message, go ahead and fill the form out. So there's a lot of tools back here. You also have, and this is something you can personalize as well. Let me just share this with you real quick. Is you can start putting together, go to marketing. Oh, I'm already here. Silly me. Okay, so I go here on the capture pages. You can actually generate your own capture page, just like you do your own One Touch. You can go back here and put together your own capture page, put your own information in there, and you can actually get your own pictures in there. It's just something to learn. Don't spend a lot of time on this. Again, what I recommend everybody do is you should have a time you're sending your emails out. You should have a time set aside you're making your phone calls. And you should have a time set aside on a daily basis where you're taking in and you're learning something new. And I'm going to stress this again because we've got so many new people that are here, and I've got there's quite a few of you that are just trying to learn everything in one time. It's not necessary. Learn one thing, learn it well, and move on to the next, move on to the next. And as you start putting these pieces together, as you start learning how to use this, this becomes a very straightforward tool. But it takes time to go through and learn it. But once you have these things together, so to kind of sum things up here, and I'll open the lines back up again, have a plan, know what you're going to say, have your tool set to one side where you're going to direct somebody, and just stay with it. Just keep every day. It almost gets boring, but just stay with it. Keep sending email campaigns out, and just keep sending something every day. And it doesn't make any difference. But letter 1, letter 2, letter 3, letter 4, letter 5, it doesn't make any difference. But for the new people that are coming in, we've got quite a few new people in the group. It's going to be some of you are going to be listening to the recording. They're listening to this recording. Let me just say, just send the letters out. Make sure they're working for you first, but make sure you send the letters out. Just send letter 1, send letter 2, send letter 3. As you're getting responses and coming back in, and then as you're getting responses, if you have questions, get back to with your upline, the person that brought you in, or call me, or or some of those that are a little more seasoned, and find out what to do next, and then take that one tool and just take it to the next step forward. But really, again, this is all about developing relationships. This is all about making contacts, and if we stay with this at one time, and you just keep plugging away, it's going to make money. And here's what I look at. Every new customer to me is worth $40 a month. 10 new customers is $400. 20 customers is $800. And so if you have 20 customers in, you're making $800 a month. That's great. As a matter of fact, one other thing I saw in my notes here. When you bring somebody new in that's a customer, or let's say a customer, especially with a customer, I always ask them, how would you like to, you love the product, how would you like to get it for free? And I don't want to build a business. You don't have to. Who do you know that you think would benefit? Give me the information. I will send them the information, and I'll pay you a $20 fee and pay them the $20, the commission you make, if that person enrolls as a customer underneath you. If you do that 2 or 3 times, or they have 2 or 3 people, you can call them back and say, hey, might be a good idea to go ahead and upgrade. I just did this recently. I have on one of my customers, and she's getting ready to order 2 boxes. And I said, it makes sense right now because you're using the product. Go ahead and buy the 4 boxes and become a distributor, and that way the leads, the people you refer to me, if they come in, I'll make sure they get placed underneath you and you get the commission. And as soon as we find 4 people, that's $200 a month. Not only does that get you the product, get your 2 boxes a month for free, but it also gives you a couple of extra bucks. What do you think about that? And she goes, that sounds like a good idea. So, she's going to be coming in sometime later this week with 4 boxes. It's just, I'm looking out for her best interest to help her. All right, and that was something that she needed in order to make it to the next step. So don't miss that. And that's why you guys got these web pages. You just know who you're sending them to. So if I'm talking to somebody and say, my mother-in-law would love to look at this. Well, go ahead and send her my link and write down the name. And if she fills it out and orders the product, I'll make sure you get credit for it. And that's how you tap into the warm market. Because, again, as you bring people into here and you start generating relationships with these people, it's all about you generating with their warm market as well. All right, let me open up the lines, answer any questions.
You are now unmuted.
All right, somebody say hi so I know it's working.
Hi.
Hello?
There we go. All right, look at it. I know I covered a lot. I did get this recorded, so we'll be out. Any questions or anything you guys have or any comments?
That was interesting what you just went over, Mrs. Lorna.
What was the one thing? Tell me one thing you found that had value to you.
Well, what you just said about setting them up, and I've been sick for 6 days and my head's not working. I didn't quite get what you did with somebody that's a customer to get them into business. I got lost in it. Maybe it's just because I'm not
yeah, it's strictly to get them in. I'll go back. I think it's important to repeat, and I'm glad you brought that up. Look, if somebody's a customer, I'm going to ask them, who do you know? Who do you know you think would benefit like you? Who do you know that you think, look, would you mind sending them my link, or would you mind if I sent them a link, and if they decide to get product, I'll make sure you get credit for it. That's step number 1. Step number 2, if that person responds, you call them back and you say, I say, hi, Lorna, 2 of your friends responded back and they wanted to get product. Here's the best way to do this. All you need to do is become a distributor, and then when they come in, they're going to become customers. There's an extra $20 a month. If those 2 people come in, and let's say they both get 2 boxes, that's the norm, that'd be $40. There's $80. That already covers almost 2/3 of your expenses. We find 2 more people like that for you. And with 4 people in, with just 4 customers, 2 boxes a month is covered. And most people, my experience has been when somebody orders 1 box from me, 2 weeks later they're ordering another box. Just about across the board, everybody that I have right now is ordering minimum 2 boxes a month. Some are ordering 3 and 4. And the thing is, as soon as they get to where they're using 4 boxes, they should go ahead and order their 4 boxes and upgrade, because that automatically upgrades them to a distributor. Now they can share information, and when they do, and somebody comes in, the customer, and it's real simple. Like Lorna, if I was talking to you, I'd say, Lorna, I know you don't have a lot of time to build a business or anything else, but if we could find 10 customers for you and it made you an extra $800 a month, would that help? That gives you free product and gives you an extra $300 or $400. How does that sound to you? Oh my God, $300 is a lot. Okay. Well, why don't we do this? Go ahead and get your 4 boxes and come on in, and then let me know who you think would benefit, and we'll send out links and information, and I'll try to help you get them enrolled as customers. And then work for them. Get your customers with their 3 or 4 people in, and that are paying their product, and then offer that service to that second level. Somewhere along there is going to be the diamond. Maybe be the second or third level down. That's where big organizations come from. Last week, on the Infinity bonus, I had an extra $160 come in from the Infinity bonus in my paycheck from Rain, and it was from 20 levels deep. And I have no idea where those people came from, but I'll tell you what, I didn't mind cashing that extra check. All right? So it's all about the contacts that build down, because that is where the death comes from. And our jobs, and that's why it can become overwhelming to get too many people in your organization. But our jobs is strictly to share information and to help that individual the best we can. And I can't think of anything better than helping somebody get their product for free. You're helping them, and you're helping yourself, and more importantly, those 4 new people that get on the product are getting benefits, because we all know that this product has a lot of hidden benefits behind it that people don't even begin to realize how much they're helping themselves.
Okay, so are you sending them that $20?
What's that?
If they sign up as
if they sign up as a customer underneath me, $20 over to that person.
So you send them the $20.
You bet.
That their customer made. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I do it for the first order. I don't do it after that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I let them know. Distributor, you could be getting $20 a month on a regular basis.
Okay.
And that will give them, maybe I need to enroll. So, I always get people, when that happens, before I enroll somebody as a customer, I will always call that person back and give them the option to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Some will, some won't. And it all depends. A lot of times, here's the thing that I know some of you may find this hard to believe, but a lot of people, they don't mind spending the extra $150 or $200 on a product that's making them healthy. And they're not interested in doing the business. They'll just go ahead and spend the money, and if they can help somebody else, they're not looking to profit from it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And, a lot of times we spend too much time trying to encourage people too vigorously to go ahead and get started in the business, and we chase people away.
Mm-hmm.
And, my thing is, when you're ready, go ahead and get started. I mean, it's like, Herb had a classic. I know last month he talked about, he had somebody in, he finally says, George, how close are you to making a decision? So I'm at 80%. And, Herb says, well, when you get to the other 20% and 100%, give me a call back.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would say, well, you're 80%, let's go and get started. What's stopping you?
Mm-hmm.
That Herb, and he just, matter of fact, and 2 days later, the guy calls back and says, hey, I'm 100%, let's get started.
And somebody said, people like to buy, but they don't like to be sold.
Yes, people love to buy stuff, but they don't want to be sold.
Mm-hmm.
And, take this from a guy who earned a living selling $10,000 and $20,000 home improvement projects.
Mm-hmm.
I had everybody shake my hand when I walked out the door 2 hours later and say, I'm sure glad you didn't pressure me into this.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a career selling $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 home improvement projects in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rare talent. But the point is, all I did was share information. I kept sharing information until they decided we were the right company to work with. That's exactly what we're doing. It's not any different, just a smaller scale.
I understand that. I sold real estate, and I never sold anybody a house. I provided the service so they were able to buy one.
Exactly. When you got into a house, he says, can't you just imagine being in that kitchen and smelling those cookies? People visualize that. A guy steps out in the garage and says, and he's an auto mechanic. He says, can't you just imagine you can put your tools up against that wall, can't you? Isn't that? That's the way it works, right? Guy steps out on the lawn and says, hey, there's a great yard. Just imagine your dogs running free back here and having fun.
And the other thing that I learned was that you really need to listen to what they want. And if you're a salesman telling them all the things that you think they want, that doesn't work. Yeah.
Why, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yeah. I do have a question. I haven't spent much time on the new website, but I noticed that they have a sample program. Have you explored that?
Yeah, the sample program they have is a lead generation type program. It's basically the same thing we're doing, except instead of the prospect sending you $20, you pay for the product and ship it out to them. So basically, you're sending them out 3 to 6. I think they set up 3 packets or 6 packets, but it's costing you money to do it. So it runs you between $10 to $20 per prospect to send them samples.
Well, yeah, okay. I like ours better.
Yeah, 100%. I'm very familiar. I used to use this program back when I was with another company, and I know the routine well. They have leads and everything else back there. They charge about $5 a lead for people that have answered a survey. They can be good leads, but you can spend about you can spend between $20 and $100 to find one new prospect. That cost, in my opinion, is not justified, especially with what we're doing right now. You guys are getting leads and working them. When you get down to your 100 leads, those are the same kind of leads you would spend $5 a piece for.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And they're not any more effective than what you're doing right now. You can go out and spend $10 a lead, and you'll still buy 100 leads and still only have 5 or 6 people that are really interested.
Mm-hmm.
All we've done, this is one thing that's great about our system, is all we've done is we've making it easy for you guys to generate some new leads and some new contacts and develop it. But it's all about developing the contact and relationships, because it's all about the relationships. If you can bring somebody in and develop a good relationship with them, then the next step is you'll be able to share with them ways that they can share this product with their warm market. And there's no reason why because most of the time they're getting excited because they're seeing benefits. And I just had a call. I was talking to Vance this morning. He and I both agree. It's been a long time since we've had a product that is really bringing people in versus the business opportunity. This is a very strong product-driven deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions out there or comments? Don't be shy. All right. Well, look at guys. Go ahead.
This is Angel. Hey, I have a quick question.
Sure.
When we initially get the leads, you know what? I think I answered it myself. We just choose the email because you've already got them set up in the system. You know, I haven't even. But anyway.
Yeah, I have to get you some leads. So.
Yeah, but it's numbered. It's not. We would just start with that first email. Like
number 1, number 2, number 3. When we first put this together, when I first put these letters in there was no order. Everybody was confused about which one to send out. So then I took a few hours one day and labeled them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, and then
blitz letters and hot list.
Right. Now, how often do you send a letter out every day to the same people?
Every day.
Every day. Gotcha. Okay.
Every day. For right now, you'll send emails to your email list. You'll send an email to your hot list, and you will send a separate email to your daily activities. And I have letters back there for each one of those. So somebody that comes in on your daily activities is going to get 3 emails from you. Somebody on your hot list is going to get 2 emails from you, and then obviously your general population of leads out there are going to get they're going to get the daily until they finally. Once somebody gets into your hot list, that means they've opened up an email and they're back there. Then they'll be getting at least 2 emails a day from you if you're following the program. And they'll probably even get an additional one because Prosperity Central has a generic letter they send out as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So the whole thing is contact. You bet. All right, guys. I'm going to do the same thing. Corporate call, they have one at noon on Monday. So I'm not going to have a call on Monday, but I will have another training on Wednesday. Most of these trainings that I do on a Wednesday basis is just really based on conversation that I have had with you guys over the course of the week and issues that you've come up with that gives me a chance to kind of discuss this as a group. And so when I'm on a topic or when I'm doing something, it's usually something that as a group, because it's amazing. You guys all have the same issues at the same time. There's nothing unique that's going on out there. So, and of course, if you have situations that come up, if you need anything, if you need any advice, need any direction, you know that I'm available for you. So all you can do is give me a quick call or send me an email, and I will follow up with you. All right, you guys have a great week. We're at the end of the month. Good time to try to close things up. Make contacts, make friends, and just let it happen. If you put forth the effort, it will pay in the long run. With that, everybody have a great day, and I'll talk to you all next week. Bye now.
Thank you much.